Like she was immediately talking about starting podcasts, starting her own like I think it was like a TV series or something. So she
Oh
was
yeah, I fucking heard about that shit, bro. Like I don't know, like because of her huge success from just saying hot talk, like it's like what the fuck? Like this has to be like an industry plan. Like there's no way she just said that and next thing you know she's like the next big thing. I guess we can watch this video from Moist Critical about this fucking girl. Well, Chad, let's go right ahead. Right after this ad, of course. God damn it. Of course, the ad block's not working. And there's a second ad too, and it's also not working. Jesus Christ.
Hawk Tuah.
There it is. Okay, let me just get some things working. Okay, everything's all good.
Hawk Tuah girl. I imagine a lot of you just rolled your eyes at that. It is a meme that, for a lot of people, is beyond stale. It's been run into the ground because over the last couple months, it's been everywhere. Hawk Tuah.
No, it's not been everywhere, especially on the social media parts or parts of social media I've been on. It's basically like one of those things where occasionally happens. Like, what the fuck? Why is this girl here? Like, she just said that and now she's viral. Like, what the hell? That could have been me.
A girl has, like, her name has been said more than Bloody Mary's name. It's like Beetlejuice, but when you say Hawk Tuah 3 times, you'll get a new flood of 10 different videos from her in your feed. It is just everywhere and has been for a couple months. And it's made a lot of people just pretty exhausted with it. They're tired of it. And I made a video talking about her when the meme first blew up, going over how interesting I find it that a meme can change someone's life pretty much overnight. Something as simple as talking about spitting a loogie on a wiener can lead to a whole career potentially. And I never really blamed her for trying. I
Well,
also
yeah, and also because Charlie has been known for like a couple memes. I mean, he's always done these types of videos beforehand, but like there's like a lot of memes that he created, and those basically help catapult him to like major success. Obviously, like, here's the thing: it's like half of it is because well, these types of videos are good, like his videos are actually amazing, but the other half has to do with the memes, of course.
also did find it really weird how quickly she was speedrunning the influencer route. Within like 3 days, she had like a whole PR team. She surrounded herself with like a bunch of parasites that were suckling all the clout out of her like these fucking vile leeches. Like she was immediately talking about starting podcasts, starting her own like I think it was like a TV series or something. So she
Oh
was
yeah, I fucking heard about that shit, bro. Like I don't know, like because of her huge success from just saying hot talk, like it's like what the fuck? Like this has to be like an industry plan. Like there's no way she just said that and next thing you know she's like the next big thing. Like something fishy is going on. Like there's just no way. Like there's like a few people who tried stuff like that and it pretty much led to nowhere. But you're telling me like this girl managed to do it, and probably because of jealousy on my behalf, but like I don't know, there's just something off about that. Like something tells me she's kind of like a secret industry plant because we have a lot of those, especially on the podcast scene.
going to launch the Hawk Tuah cinematic universe to compete with the MCU from the sound of it. She was going on podcasts. She was getting paid like $30,000 to appear at clubs. It was insanity. And now the trailer dropped for that podcast, which comes out in a couple days, and people have been clowning on her for it. She is getting dunked on harder than I do when I play pickup basketball.
She's literally doing anything to stay relevant.
Oh my fucking god! They're telling me that she actually made like a whole entire trailer just for her podcast, and it's from Better, or yeah, I think that's how you say it, Better, because it's kind of like I think it's Jake Paul's company. I mean, that's kind of it's kind of weird how Jake Paul is like, you know what? You have a podcast now under my company. Go right ahead. Like, I don't know. There's something off about that. And look, introducing Hawk, and I'm not gonna say her name, but like Talk. That's not like a good name at all. Look, only has like 1K subs and probably like I don't know, like at least 30 to like 100K dislikes.
Anyone actually give a fuck about her?
Why are we keeping this girl relevant?
Your 15 minutes are up.
Your joke was funny for 2 days. Stop.
Y'all really thought I was done? I'm just getting started, baby.
It just feels so corporate and soulless. It just feels...
Yeah, and it's kind of cringy. It's just like, you really think I'm done? I'm like, bullshit. Of course, stop coping, okay? Like, you're actually done. You're just being, dangled on because, well, you're just something that's kind of fresh because there's some people who think that you're actually, well, influential and pretty much still relevant, even though you're actually, just someone who fell off quickly because you just said one simple thing and out of nowhere you're viral on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, everywhere basically. Like, there's just no way. Like at this point, you actually are like a kind of like an industry plant. Like you said one thing, and then it somehow lead to you becoming like a plant of some sort for the industry.
Feels really inauthentic and artificial. That was what a lot of people said early on to the Hawk Tuah timeline, that she was some kind of plant, because she did have like an entire government think tank assigned to her right away to try and like keep her name out there and keep people saying Hawk Tuah, spit on that thang as much as possible.
Oh, is that what it is? Hawk and whatever the fuck. I thought it was just Hawk Talk, but no, she said more than that. Jesus Christ. Bro, it's like so simple just to just blow up. Like it's just crazy. And it's just for stupid things too. Like you're telling me I'm just doing all this and I pretty much, I mean, I'm going somewhere at least, but like you're telling me she just automatically goes up to like, you know, the big leagues. Like, are you kidding me? She just did that, and then I'm just here actually doing better shit than her. I mean, I'm just being, I guess you guys can say I'm being jealous of some sorts, but it's like, at least I'm actually doing something good, and I've been doing it for like the past few years. Meanwhile, she just said that, and you're telling me she has like a whole agency, she has a podcast now, and she's working with people like Jake Paul and meeting up with some big streamers, content creators. Like, what the fuck?
So it felt really forced. And zoinks, Scoob, this trailer feels more forced than this smile. It's called Talk Tuah. It's not an awful name, like it's kind of silly, but it also just continues to reinforce the meme itself, which makes people even more annoyed with it if they're already tired of it, you know what
I mean, didn't like Miss Kiff have like a podcast called the Just Chatting Podcast? Like, we're just pretty much out of ideas when it comes to podcasts. Like, obviously podcasts are good, but when it comes to like some of the podcasts now, especially when it comes to like big people like Miss Kiff, like we're just out of ideas. Basically, we're just tossing people into like a podcast and just naming it whatever, like Just Chatting or Tuck or something like that. Like we're just, I mean, I'm not saying like podcasts are going downhill. I mean, obviously it's still going up. Like it's obviously something that's gonna pretty much stay, hopefully, or maybe like evolve into something bigger. But I don't know. Like I feel like that we're kind of like seeing like the laziness now. Like we're kind of like seeing like the terrible things now, like Just Chatting or Talk or the canceled podcasts. Like I think we're just kind of getting lazy now. We're just doing podcasts now just for the benefits of, well, obviously money. I mean, that's basically how it is, but like there's obviously a few people who actually enjoy doing podcasts because, well, it's like their thing. I don't know. That's what I personally believe when it comes to like this whole podcast thing. Like I think we're just kind of getting to the point where we're just being lazy. Like we're not really doing it because we enjoy doing podcasts. We're just doing it for the money and clout.
I mean, like this just really feels like how Vought would handle a meme in the boys universe.
It smells warm. You. Yeah. What's one move in bed that makes a girl go crazy?
I'm Haley Welch. A little while ago, my life took a complete left turn and it changed forever. And along the way, I've realized that everybody's entitled to their own opinion. Well, now it's my time to talk. Check out my podcast every week, Talk Tuah, where I'm sitting down with the coolest guests and having actual conversations with them. And Pookie.
Who is Pookie?
Even fucking Logan Paul? Oh my god. She is, I'm just starting to believe it. Like, I'm not really bullshitting. I'm actually starting to believe that she's actually an industry plant. Like, there's no way she's working with Logan Paul and Jake Paul. Like, there's just no way.
He may stop by too. New episodes every week. Subscribe to that thing.
I love that selling point of having actual conversations with the guests. Look, I'm not a chef in the kitchen, but I can speculate on the menu. They're going to be serving up nothing burgers with those conversations.
Just, you know, forced questions, and it's going to be all scripted. Yeah, it's going to be totally the best podcast of all time. Obviously, I'm bullshitting because, I mean, I did a podcast, obviously. Obviously, I bet you guys are just saying, like, oh, I'm just copying and I'm just molding, but I guess I am in some extent, but, like, bro, at least I had a podcast where I actually had fun with Mr. Mello and Dark Creed, but I think this talk, or what the I can't even say it. Like, it's so stupid. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be like all scripted and just fake. Like, there's just no way they're actually gonna have like real conversations, because at least Dark Creed, Mr. Mello, and myself can actually have a real conversation, you know, on and off podcast. Like, we're actually good friends. Like, this girl is just gonna, I don't know, I think the podcast is just where the whole meme is just gonna end, because where else could she go?
Hunch. I get the impression that this is all driven by a firm. So what I'm imagining is all the guests are going to have like pre-approved questions that are okayed by the department, that's going to be like really sterile, really safe, and hyper vigilant of being like viral potential clips. So like her smelling a shoe or flipping that question about what's a move in bed that makes a girl go crazy. Like that all feels.
Or doing like a very extreme truth or dare with her and some random guy. Yeah, totally. That's gonna blow up for sure, and it's, it's definitely gonna feel forced.
Really, really fake. Yet, one of the big selling points is its actual conversations. We'll see, it drops in like 2 days. I could be totally wrong. But even still, it's not like every other podcast isn't having real conversations. Like, this isn't going to be the only real one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because we already have like a few podcasts, or at least a couple. There's like so many podcasts. Okay, I can't really keep track on which one is which, but like we have like some already established podcasts, like the Joe Rogan Experience. Obviously, we have like something like that where Joe Rogan's actually having, well, sometimes at least, like he's actually have like a real conversation with someone. Hold on. But like, there's like the episode like The Rock where he's basically like being like a PR man and he's not actually having like a real conversation with Joe Rogan. But like, come on, like someone like Joe Rogan's like saying like a high standard. Like that's pretty much. I mean, it's not like a high standard, but it's like kind of like at least like a standard. Like it's kind of like one of those things where like, okay, like it's pretty simple to actually be there. But obviously, since Joe Rogan's making so much money just from his podcast, people are like, holy shit, we should do podcasts now because it's like so much money. Like we can actually do it. Like, we can go viral, but. I don't know, like I think people are just beginning to like not figure out what the spirit of podcasting is. Like they're just doing it for money and clout, like I already said. But oh man, it's kind of just painful to see because like I said, I did a podcast. At least I actually had fun with it, and obviously I see the spirit, which is talking and having real conversations, not just just doing it for the clout. I mean, I obviously I did Roundtable because it was something that could be viral, but like I always wanted to do podcasts, and I still want to do podcasts to this day. Obviously, I'm not going to force something or at least do something for clout just so that way I can actually do something like that.
Just ticks every single box that some kind of marketing firm would have you do for your sizzler reel and marketing material. Pookie might stop by. Hooey! It could be anyone. Who the fuck is Pookie? You'll have to stop in next week for this Talk to a season finale to find out. It could be goddamn Steve Jobs being brought back from the dead. Maybe he never actually died. Maybe Hawk Tuah's spit acts as some kind of necromancy, and she's the damn saliva sorceress, and she revived him. Who knows?
Or maybe even bring on someone like, I don't know, Kamala Harris, or who is the president of Mexico, and also like Justin Trudeau from Canada. Like it could be any of those people. Like she could be like that big of an industry player. She could pull in like politicians, presidents, country leaders. Like I don't know. He basically can go anywhere, but obviously, if she actually does that, then it's gonna definitely show that she's definitely like an industry plant.
You know, it all just feels so forced. But I do still stand by my statement that I can't even really be mad at her for doing all of this. I really can't. Getting as lucky as she did with a meme blowing up and people like going and flocking to you, like that doesn't happen often. And that can be the dream job for most people on the planet, and she's trying to capitalize off it.
I mean, I did capitalize on the shit I'm doing now. I mean, I'm still doing it even after like. Obviously, I'm like on the low, I guess you could say right now, but obviously it can go back up whenever I can pull something off. But at least I'm actually having fun. But obviously, like I said, like what Charlie's saying here, like at least she's actually like capitalizing on it. Like who wouldn't? Like if I became like a big YouTuber who's even bigger than Charlie himself, then of course I would capitalize on it. Like who wouldn't? I mean, I bet you guys would do it, chat. Like if you were like in my position, or at least in Charlie's, or that Talk girl, or hell, even like Ice Spice or D'Angelo Wallace, like of course you would blow as soon as you blow up and you start realizing about the money, the views, the clout, all that shit. Of course you would like take advantage of that.
I don't think this is the best way of doing it. I really think being more human as opposed to just being the meme itself and spreading that out. I gave this example before, but maybe many of you don't remember the tragedy of Your Breathtaking Guy. It's not a story the Jedi would tell you, but I've mentioned it before. Quite a few years back, Keanu Reeves was at an event and he was talking about how the game looked breathtaking, and someone in the crowd shouted, "You're breathtaking," at Keanu Reeves, to which he said it back to that gentleman. And that guy came forward, everyone cheered him on, he became an overnight sensation, and for, I think it was like almost a full year, he rode that puppy as much as he could. He was milking those titties dry. He tried to use You're Breathtaking as his branding. He called himself the breathtaking guy, if I remember correctly. And people got really tired of it really quickly. And that same thing seems to be happening to the Hawk Tuah girl, too.
I mean, the thing is, though, at least the Hawk Tuah girl, I guess that's how you actually say it. It's been going on for like at least a few months. I mean, that guy, he only lasted for like a whole year. But so far, it looks like this Hawk Tuah girl is going to last me like, I don't know, a couple months, and it's finally over for her.
To a lesser degree, though, because she does still have a lot of people that are really excited about this. So it is working.
Yeah, maybe like a small minority, but like, I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell. I mean, yeah, like a majority of people are just going to watch it because, well, it's viral and stuff like that. But there's like a small minority that actually like her for her personality and who she actually is, not just because of the meme.
Certain extent, but I just really think the best path is to just separate from the meme a little bit. Like, hey, this was my lightning rod. I know you guys know me as the Hawk Tuah girl, but I'm just kind of hanging out here. I started a podcast if you want to check it out, and just have it be more organic. Hey, I'm playing the One Piece card game tonight on stream if you guys want to stop in and tune in, as opposed to just like wrapping everything around the meme, because it just feels so inorganic. It really does feel like an industry plant situation to a certain extent. But yeah, anyway, just want to talk about it a little bit because I do find it very interesting. That's it. See ya.
Yeah, and at the same time, what Charlie didn't mention is that, like, obviously, if you wrap it around just the meme itself, then obviously, as soon as the meme dies, then, well, everything that you wrapped around, it's going to die too. Like, it's going down with it, okay? Like, as soon as it's falling off the clip, like, everything that you wrapped around, it's going to fall with it. And at least Charlie, I mean, obviously, he made some memes, and they're obviously kind of dead now, but, like, at least, he doesn't actually wrap everything that he does around those memes. Like, he actually, like, built, like, a good audience from those people. Like, even if they're, like, a small minority, at least they're actually, like, getting to know him for what type of content he's actually doing, not just because, well, he's just the guy who's saying, "Woo, yeah, baby!" I mean, yeah, people know him for that, but, like, at least he actually managed to like make it to where people actually know him for what he's actually doing, not just for saying that. I don't know. That's just what I personally think. I think this Hawk Tuah girl is going a bit too far, like, and she's doing it too fast as well. Like, everything's like the breathtaking guy, like, he did it all in just 1 year, but this Hawk Tuah girl is like doing it in just like a few months. Like, I think that's a bit too far and a bit too fast, and it's definitely causing like a lot of questions. I mean, I don't know. That's just my personal opinion.